Welcome to the Shit I'm 30 podcast. This is the weekly show where we discuss and share our unfiltered opinions on topics such as mental health, relationships, sometimes it gets a little kinky, and we talk about sex, parenting, and so much more. With me, your host, Carla Ramirez. Now, my goal is to get rid of society's expectations about where we should be when we're in our 30s and just free ourselves to live the lives that we've always dreamed of. Now, friends, remember, it is never too late. Welcome back, guys, to another episode. If you are new to this podcast, I want to welcome you, just like I did in the beginning intro of this. You got a little bit of a taste of what the show is all about. Today, we have a very special guest, and everybody's special in their own fucking way, because we all say that. We have a special guest, Passport Cutty.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you for coming back.
I'm so happy to be here.
I know.
We're supposed to get together in Atlanta.
I didn't get to see you in Atlanta. Why did we get?
We are here.
Yes, because I remember telling.
It's for the awards.
Boo things. Yeah, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing either. But I'm running around. I'm like, I got studio time whenever you got time. But it didn't happen. So we made it happen. It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. So this week, I wanted, change up the subject a little bit. I know that when I had Cutty on here last time, if you guys haven't listened to that episode, she was very open about her transition in life. And now, honey, she came in here with his hair laid, okay? She said, baby,
it is. I love your hair like this.
I love it, too. And I usually like your hair short.
Oh.
But this I like.
Thanks.
I feel like you doing some real good fucking with this hair. You get it pulled and shit?
Not yet.
Because I feel like if I'm going to have long weave like that, I want it secured to the point that they're going to be able to pull it.
Well, we know she's not sucking dick. So.
No, I do suck dick.
You just don't like
prefer.
it. Okay, gotcha.
You prefer not to?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I'd rather not.
Why? You have lockjaw or something?
My mouth is too small.
Open your mouth.
Girl,
bitch, you
talk loud, bitch. Your
no,
mouth
let me
is
tell
not
you.
small.
I realize. No, I really have a shallow mouth. Like I don't have a lot of depth. Like as soon as it goes in, I don't have any. Like my gag. What is it? The
Gag
reflex is like.
It's because
is it low or high? Which one is it?
You have a bad gag
Yeah,
reflex?
like it's too shallow.
I was told you have to just practice with brushing your tongue.
Oh yeah, brushing.
See, I don't even like doing that. I don't like putting my finger down my throat to vomit. Just in case my stomach is hurting or something. Like I
love sucking dick.
And I also had a guy who
what?
Didn't like head, and we were together for like 3-4 years. So I was like super.
He didn't
spoiled.
like it. Why?
He didn't care for it. He didn't care.
Maybe he just didn't want it from you.
Well, this is what he told me, okay?
Spill the tea.
I was cool with this explanation. Whether it was true or not, fine by me. But he said, I don't want head because there's no difference between, like, he's like, a mouth is a mouth. He's like, what's the difference between a guy sucking your dick and a girl sucking your dick? He was like, what's the difference between you fucking a nigga in the ass and you fucking a bitch in the ass? He was like, I only want the one thing that only bitches have, which is pussy. This is what he said. Hey,
that sounds really like
that sounds traumatic.
I'm traumatic. I feel like a man
care.
sucked his dick before, and if you sucked his dick, it was gonna bring him back to that.
I don't care.
And I think he liked it a lot.
Guess what? I don't care.
Say that.
I don't care.
You were perfectly fine with it, not questioning.
The underlying reason for this reason was I was cool with
perfectly fine with it.
I didn't care.
We're gonna take it. But do you do it now sometimes?
All the time.
Now this motherfucker want it all the time.
Mind you, okay, so this morning I wait. You know how guys always be like, you don't initiate, you don't start, you don't just wake up and suck my dick. So this morning he was sleeping, I'm rubbing on him, I'm like, all right, I suck his dick, right? So
we're not asking, just I'm
exactly.
coming.
So I go, I suck his dick, and then we have sex and then whatever, and then we eat, and then maybe not even an hour later, he's like, you gonna suck my dick before we leave? I'm like, no, nigga.
I already did it.
Yes, he's like, no, I wanted to get
It was that good. Cutty, you good at it.
No.
That mouth is deep.
No,
okay, don't come out here
it's
saying it's not deep no more.
Honestly, we've already had this conversation. We've been in a lot of turmoil
Over
somebody else sucks his dick better than me. Like, I'm not, you know how like every guy says like, oh, baby, you give the best head?
Right.
Like, I know I don't give the best head. No, I do it good enough.
Right.
But I know I'm not as enthusiastic as the next bitch, right?
Right.
So.
Because it does come with, I think I'm good at it because I enjoy it.
Right.
And I'm there and I'm just like,
And he be saying that to me and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm not enjoying it when I know that somebody else was sucking your dick.
Oh.
From the beginning of time since we knew each other, I've always caught that.
Oh, shit.
So.
Yeah, that I won't suck his dick either.
Yeah.
Get it wherever you get
So
it from,
it's a
nigga.
mental thing.
Of course.
People will be like, well, what are you doing? Shut up. We not talking
Right.
about that.
I'm there, and it ain't none of your business why I keep going back. Because last time you was here, you was like, I'm not going back. And I was like,
I did?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's
Girl,
a long time
wait.
ago.
You
Oh,
said
wait.
that. You
Really?
said that to
Yeah.
me a few times.
You were
when
actually,
said that.
y'all had just broken up.
Oh, yes.
And you were like, I'm ready, because you were doing a whole
we didn't get back
transition
together
with
for
everything.
6 months.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's
so
the
what
longest.
the fuck you go back for?
We're soulmates.
So what's crazy is, and I guess let us know if we can. We wanted to kind of have that conversation. Did you want to have that right now?
Go
Do you want to
ahead.
start it?
Oh, we can.
Yeah,
So
let's
actually,
start off with that.
this episode itself is going to be the three of us. And I know, Cutty, you know, you've been in so many podcasts and you have such a great platform. And, you know, she is the author of The M and Man is for Money. And she talks about all of this. But I wanted to have like a girl chat. Like when you go and when we're having Thanksgiving dinner and sitting around just girls, what are the conversations that we're having? So you guys can sit in with us and see like how we interact with each other and the real conversations that we have. So that's kind of where I'm gonna go with this episode. So we can just go into. I'll hold on to this shit you should know. You said when you were here last, you were going to a full transition, life, career, finances, and you said, I'm going to go ahead and take my love life also. It's not where it needs to be. I know I shouldn't be here. I'm cutting it off. I'm not going back. That's it.
And it was also right before you started the tour. Your book.
The book hadn't released yet. No, the book
was about to release. It was
about to release. She was
reloading
finishing it.
of the MMA for Money.
Yeah.
And I know that you reached a transition phase, which for a lot of listeners of Shit I'm 30 podcast, a lot of people are in transitions and they feel like in order for me to move to the next phase, I need to leave some baggage behind me. And I think that even me listening to that episode, that's where you were.
Yeah.
You were like, this guy is bringing me baggage. I'm entering this new phase in my life, so he shouldn't move on with me. And now 6 months later, you brought him back into the picture.
Well, I think that it was the length of time that made him realize what I wasn't really going for anymore. Even though all the kinks are not out, like nowhere near, but things have changed.
You decided to give it another shot.
Yeah.
And try again.
Can I ask you, how many chances have you given him over the years?
I've given every boyfriend 1,000 chances. That's just my personality.
Okay. Is that what is it? You said
Leo.
The Leo thing.
Stars and
How many
moons
years has it
shit?
been total on and off?
9.
Wow. And you're 30 what? 34?
33.
33.
Yeah.
Jesus. That is a very long time. So most of your adult life, you have been on and off with this person, regardless of what you've done on the side. Because you talk about it, you're like, you've still lived your life.
People are like, oh my God, you've, I'm like,
there's off times.
I'm like
those 9
on
years.
and off. And they're like, what's on and off? I'm like, cheating. I mean, on both of our behalf, well, I don't consider it cheating. He considers it. Me and him are very different. Like, if he could like be with me for the rest of his life and still fuck bitches on the side,
he would,
and not give a fuck about them, but like be with me.
Isn't that an open relationship?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
He doesn't want me to do anything.
Oh, so only open on his side.
Like, yeah.
More
so
polygamy, I think. That's
when it's only the guy.
Polygamy.
Why is it knee?
Because that's when
For the
man,
nigga?
Right.
Nigga only?
Polygamy. That's when the guy, the man can have as many wives or as many women as he can take care of.
But the woman can't.
But his women cannot partake in extracurricular activities.
See, but this is the one thing I will say. He doesn't necessarily want to take care of anybody else.
It's just fucking.
No, yeah, he really.
So does he have like an extremely high sex drive?
Beyond.
Okay.
Like,
could he be a sex addict?
Probably.
Okay.
Like, I be saying that he be getting real mad.
Mad.
Oh, he be getting
Perhaps
real mad.
it's something like that. But outside of the sexual aspect of it, I remember you saying, because I was in the same but you were, and I actually let go and moved on. So
I see.
Right. So you're gonna join her. You're gonna join her boat. Okay, on this mic and doing this. This is what we gonna do. Please don't get her started. So I did choose to move on. And when I chose to really detach myself, I found something else and something that right now fits me. So what made you say, instead of I'm going to start over, because you knew there were so many things that were holding you back? And so I don't know if you feel this way, but I knew for a very long time that was not the person for me. Was I comfortable? Yes. Is this the person that can provide for me? And I'm comfortable.
One thing about my personality is I have to really like you. Like,
in a friendship level?
No, beyond
everything.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like, I feel like is stronger than love, right?
Of course.
Because you could love somebody and not like them.
They gut.
Right.
Right.
And then you could like somebody and not love them, but that like just feels so good. Like just feels so goddamn good. You're like, oh, you're like giddy, you know?
Really? You get giddy of a like?
Yeah.
I like love. I love love.
I like the guy that I'm talking to currently, and it's like,
love is
really
too much
like
responsibility.
It is.
No, I love it. But it is. Because
No. I can love it. I mean, we definitely love each other now.
Are you in love?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And we always have been. The issues, more than, I think honestly, fidelity was one of just the primary issue. Like, compatibility wise,
everything is perfect.
Everything is like everything. Like other little things.
Of course, nothing's perfect.
Get on my freaking nerves, whatever the case is. His mentality, my mentality, like just me. The internet period has like really fucked everything up because
what incident?
The internet, like
the internet.
Yeah, like because they don't know who the quote unquote real you is. You know
who doesn't?
The guys.
Yeah.
Like, especially, okay,
so,
you are more safe, right?
You having the same with me with horrible
Her and
decisions.
I are more like.
People feel like, well, are you a persona online, or is this really who I'm getting when we're together? And you
like,
know,
are you a hoe for real?
Right, there you go.
Or are you just talking about it?
Right.
You know, and I'm like, doesn't matter.
Are you a hoe?
Right.
Because
doesn't matter, right?
Because the thing is, I honestly don't understand why you care about anything that happened when we were not together.
Okay.
So
can I
think
ask
that's
you
a
question
men's
though?
thing.
So, and I like where this conversation is going. So, what you're saying is, do you care about what I did when we weren't together or what my past says?
Right.
I'm recently talking to a new guy, and we're having the debate as to whether he should buy my flights or not. And so my thing is, regardless of if you want to be judged by your past or not, your past kind of sculpts you and shapes you into your values, your thought processes, how you view dating, how you view your partner.
That's why we be arguing all the time.
We do. And you be wrong. But so it's kind of unfair to say, oh, you can't judge who I was in the past because I'm a new person now, when technically that has shaped you. So the same way, we've had this conversation.
I just don't understand why you need to know.
You may not need to know, but in hindsight, if y'all are out and you get an attitude because you're like, I know my friends pulled up, but you were supposed to pay for all of them and you didn't. Now you made me look stupid. That's based off of what we're used to men doing in the past. And so I feel like that there are arguments that are caused based on maybe your past and what, even though you don't want him to know about,
I think
it's now
what
still
she's
who you are.
speaking on what happened in the past is more of
Sexually.
her interaction with other men and other people. Like, what did you do during the time off? Should it matter to you because we weren't together?
Yeah. Because I don't bring it up. So let's say, for example,
We never do.
When we were, no, I do. Well, I'll bring it up, but I'm not holding it against you.
Okay.
So, like, let's say, for example, those 6 months that we were not together. Oh, I'm
here
on the stand. No, I'm on the stand. Okay, I'm being judged by the jury, and it's 12 of him.
You said, okay, so when you're not together, he's watching everything you're doing.
No, not just watching, but now that we're back together, he wants to know what the hell happened during, like, he wants to know.
You don't want to?
No. because
I would want to.
I don't care. Like, and guess what? Even if you do tell me, I don't care. I'm being asked questions that I just don't feel are pertinent to right now. Like, he's like, I'm the type of person, this is his personality. I'm the type of person, I need to know everything about my girl. I don't want nobody to ever, I don't want anything to ever be a...
My current boyfriend's like that.
Yeah.
Very much like that.
Yeah, I don't want anything to ever be a surprise. I want, and I'm just like, and even if it was, if I said, hey, that was, sorry. Even if I feel like even if I say, hey, well, that was in March or April or January or whatever,
Right.
it'll be like, oh, okay, and that's the end of it because we weren't together.
So we had this conversation, actually, him and I on my Patreon, and we talked about always let me know. I don't want to walk into a room and there's another bitch you fucked there and I don't know about it. Tell me. I want to know these things. That way I'm aware of it. I want to know because I don't want the bitch looking a certain type of way. So, and it's not in a way like, just tell me. We're about to walk into this party. Hey, there's this girl Ashley there that I fucked. Like, when we said that's somebody that I used to fuck with. Cool. Let me know. Don't make me look stupid and this bitch is going to sit here and be like, hey, bro. And I like, she's sis, but you were sucking his dick before. There's certain things, there's certain boundaries, and certain limits that you can go when they fucked them before. And you don't want to look stupid.
I don't really care. Look stupid to who?
Oh.
To her. And to think that she's...
But who is she?
But yeah, like...
I don't want you sitting here like looking at me like, I don't know. I don't want that.
See, that's an ego. An ego thing.
But not
I
only
don't
that,
care.
Could be.
but not only that, with what you're saying too, I think that a lot of women will say that, but then him telling you, hey, I fucked 3 bitches in this room,
Right.
causes an argument later.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It happens to me. Remember we talked about
maybe
it.
not for you
Oh,
personally.
for some women.
But a lot of women who may project, hey, if I'm walking into a room, I want you to tell me. At the end of the night, that can also cause an insecurity to women who aren't ready for the fact that, hey, I fucked 3 girls in this room. We're going to be in this space for the night. And now when we ride it home, your nose is tooted up because, and you out here fucking all these bitches.
That's an insecurity trait for
yeah,
sure.
but for men, you don't know if it suits you well to tell the truth or if it suits you well to tell a lie.
True.
And,
it's like a double-edged sword.
And
I don't even think women know until
until they're in the position.
Until they feel it.
For sure. And what's crazy is we sit here and we think that men have a problem handling the truth. And a lot of times when we get the truth, we don't know how we're going to respond. And we'll ask for the truth and think that we're cool with it until we get it.
Right.
And so I think, again, the double-edged sword.
Yeah, I love truth. I think I can forgive and I can deal with it if you tell me I have an issue with lies.
See, no, I'm cool with truth. I feel like everything does not need to be.
We shouldn't have to tell everything to a man.
Yeah.
Although, like, I'm pretty open, I feel like there's certain things that we don't have to tell everything. You don't need to know who I was fucking at 17, 18, 19 for what?
Right.
Like what I did back then. What you know what I'm saying?
Or how many sex partners I had. Or
Okay, we're all too grown. If we're all over 30, which I'm not yet.
Girl, again,
but
knocking, you're only a couple
I
days
am.
away.
But if at this age, I don't think the body count thing should be a thing.
No, listen. They
Men
may not
are-
be asking concretely for
but
the
they
number,
care.
but they be counting.
They're
them
counting.
for you.
No, they are. They're counting. And which is why it makes it, I think, sometimes for you when you're dating to find a man that's open enough.
Well, you
to
calm
not
the
think
fuck
like
down,
that.
bitch.
We've had this conversation plenty of times. When you're like, why does it matter what I talk about, my content, what I've done, how open I am? And I'm
Same
like, because
thing with me.
yes, and you're open about it because men care about perception.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They're so like worried about your perception and how you're putting yourself out there. Sometimes it's like, listen, you have to be secure in yourself and be secure in your relationship and your woman. And sometimes that's an aspect of insecurity. And I think we might actually touch on this when we record with him because I've told him that certain things are insecurity.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is an insecure trait because you shouldn't care.
Well, what's
Right.
crazy is I think that women can admit when
We're insecure?
when a trait is being insecure or we have a problem with something because of where we see jealousy and insecurity. Men will never admit to
Ever.
I don't know because I don't believe that women admit to being jealous or insecure either.
Oh, I just, well, to
I
me, it's like,
feel-
yeah, bitch, I'm crazy and so what?
No, crazy. We'll call ourselves crazy. Calling ourselves insecure or jealous, that's very unlikely.
This needs to be a chapter,
Yeah.
by the way. This is because you were okay with saying, yeah, I'm a crazy bitch. If I'm crazy, it's because I like you a lot. Da, 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 da. But
That's me being jealous.
But I'm not gonna lie. This is where a lot of times we associate toxic traits
Mm-hmm.
with relationships and love,
Mm-hmm.
which that's not healthy at
all.
all.
No,
Right.
it's not.
And so you're okay with being called
No, no, no,
crazy,
no, no.
but as a woman, if you get called insecure or jealous, that's where the problem
But this is an
lies.
aspect of this new relationship that I'm having because for so many years I thought it was cool to call another bitch and be like, you fucking my nigga,
Right.
or let's talk woman to woman, or fuck him up because he was cheating, or have these arguments or put hands on people. And in this new state of mind that I'm having, I'm like, I'm not I'm not calling no bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and fight for you. If you decide to step out, goodbye.
Right.
And it hasn't happened, but I'm training myself and I've been dealing with myself mentally to know you don't deserve me if you
Right.
treat me that way.
Right.
Could we work through it? Maybe. I'm not going to say we won't. If it were to happen, I don't know what it all depends on the circumstances, how you feel, what you have going on. But I know that I'm not going to sit here and put hands on a woman for fucking my man.
I don't really care about cheating that much. Like
Obviously, he's
Me
been
neither.
9 years, bitch.
I know, right?
Me neither.
See, but like it's not that I don't care because there's a lot that goes along with cheating that is just so despicable that just turns you off.
Right.
Like there's levels to cheating. There's different types of cheating. There's there's the length of it, the who
The
it
emotion-
is,
right,
like,
right.
what were you lying to me and telling me that you were fucking doing when you were really out fucking somebody? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's just so many other things that go along with cheating.
Like some men say it's cool if you cheat when you're on a vacation or work vacation
Right.
in another country, but don't do it with the neighbor.
Right. You know what I mean? So there's just so many different levels and scenarios of cheating. And it's not that I don't care, because I do. But cheating doesn't really hurt my feelings.
Damn.
Because
Me
So you don't feel like that stab in the heart, you can't breathe,
No.
can't eat, I'm gonna sit
now
in there and cry.
there's certain things that have bothered the shit out of me that made now there's it, and it didn't really hurt my feelings, more so I'm gonna give you an example.
Give me.
Right, so if I find out that I always say this, I'd rather my guy fuck 20 different women one time
Mhm.
than one woman 20 times. Right,
Mhm.
because now you have
An emotional
this
connection.
relationship with this person. Whether now, listen, guys could have fake ass relationships with women and it be absolutely nothing on
Right.
their behalf. But my dude, he's the type that he needs every woman at their best. Sorry. So now you probably think you're in a relationship with him,
Oh shit.
like.
He doesn't, but they do.
And it's crazy how good he is at juggling, right? Because
Because it's hard to have more than one woman.
right. So, but then you find the right woman. You find a woman who, maybe has a kid, and maybe she don't have enough time to like care, or maybe she has maybe she's in her own relationship.
Right.
Like maybe she thinks that you're her side nigga, when
Right.
in reality you're his side bitch. Like you don't even know. Like
Right.
I've seen him navigate and operate. Now people will be like, why the fuck would you deal with somebody like that?
Right, because that's what I'm thinking.
I'm the same way.
Oh.
Like
Oh, you navigate these niggas too.
no, but not right now, because I'm just not in that type of. I'm
In
not
that
in
space?
that space, and I'm not on that type of time. And I think we're trying to do the right thing. Like on my behalf, we are
Right.
now.
Do you see marriage?
I don't know. I don't see marriage at all. Not with him, but I don't see marriage right now at all. Like that's not a goal for me. Like I would
okay.
get married 6 times. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm that girl who will.
You keep trying.
Yeah. Like if it doesn't work, I'm not gonna be devastated. Like, oh my god, my marriage failed. Get a divorce. No, let's get divorced so I could go find me another husband. Like I don't care.
Oh, okay.
She's
I
like,
mean, no.
but I'll have 6 weddings, 6 freaking wedding dresses.
Who was it? J-Lo, like the one that did that?
Yeah,
She's-
I am a.
She's having her
I-
weddings.
no, seriously,
Well, she don't
I'm
give a fuck.
having. And she's a Leo just like me, so.
Oh, makes sense. See, okay. No, I don't. You're the one that be knowing about stuff. I'm a Taurus and I'm real emotional. I want you to love me and only me.
But I
Uh-huh.
feel
And
like Cutty's the same with me. Like you understand that sex is not always tied to emotions.
Yeah.
Right.
So you believe that people can step out and have sex without it being emotionally tied, which is why you brought up the time frame. How long have you been fucking this bitch?
Right.
How
Only
many
fuck her, there's no
times have-
emotion involved.
But another thing is like what she was saying about that, and it made me just realize the sex not a thing attached to the emotion. I just told you I don't really like giving head that much. So if I keep on catching him getting his dick sucked, I'm like, what did you expect? You know, like he
That
fucking,
too.
you're not enthusiastic, bitch. He's going to find the
He
bitch
wants
who's
someone who's-
enthusiastic.
and you're
And
okay
I'm
with it.
And I'm
Well,
enthusiastic.
it's see, this is the chicken before the
egg.
chicken or the egg situation. Which one came first? Because I'm not enthusiastic because I keep on catching you do it. Now, not all the time, you know, but
Right.
what I'm saying, like when I've found out, it's like I'm not enthusiastic because of that. And then it's like, but now, so you're never gonna get me to be enthusiastic now that I think that you're gonna continuously.
and someone else
Yeah.
is doing it for you.
I mean, you're gonna.
Yeah.
I think you're going to stay in your relationship as long as you feel comfortable, and
Oh,
and it doesn't move you. Like if you never have that feeling where I was like I cannot. Like you feel uncomfortable. You know you have to go. You know
Mhm.
you don't have to move on. So there are people like you're 33. So one day will come to you. Either you're like this is exactly where I am and where I'm gonna stay, or you're gonna say I'm moving.
Yeah,
the fuck on.
I'm okay with. Listen, I could break up with somebody 50 billion times. It doesn't. I'm not afraid to break up. You know what I mean? Like things are going great right now. We're in so basically we've moved in together. I've moved in with him.
Oh, you are uptown?
Like I have my own space.
Okay.
I have my own spot, but I'm there.
Right.
Like and
So you guys are cohabitating.
yeah.
Can I ask you a question,
Uh-huh.
Cutty? You said 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Are
What's
you
it
the
this one?
same person at 24
Of
that
course
you are
not.
now?
Of course not. Mm-mm.
So knowing that you've changed and you've seen the growth in yourself,
Right.
what makes you stay with someone who hasn't changed his relationship with you over these years? Y'all have been on and off for 9 years. You're attached to him, but you're a different person than you were 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
9 years to this date, why do you still deal with someone that you feel maybe isn't all the way there with you and you guys still are going back and forth?
He's I just feel like nobody's perfect and
Okay.
that he's changed a lot as well. I don't know
In the
if-
same direction, or are you guys going east and west?
I don't know because you know, recently I was going through something and I had to realize like, wow, he actually does give me the best advice. But I never listen to him, right?
Okay.
So I think that comes from me thinking, oh, you don't know, you know, like, or you're not on my level or whatever, you know,
Mhm.
I guess from previous times,
Situations.
like, and just his mentality in the past, right? And it was almost like unfair that I didn't realize like how much he's matured as well. So for the last couple of times that I was in something or that he's told me something, he was right. Like he was dead right immediately. Like, and I was like, you know, it's kind of fucked up that you look to everybody else for advice or for their thoughts on stuff when he's right there in front of you and he actually gives you the
Well,
right
usually
answer
past
immediately.
behavior is, indicative of future. So you
Right.
sometimes thinking like it hasn't worked out that way, or he's not the
No,
person for
but
me to
just
go
like-
to. Like, why would you go to him now if back then he wasn't like the best person to give you advice? So now
Right.
it's gonna take time and trust for you to show you that he's the right person.
Yeah. So now, he called me out on it the other day. He said, "I just want to let you know that I've noticed that maybe you don't think I'm as smart as you, or maybe you don't think that I'm as worldly as you, or whatever the fuck it is.
Ouch.
But
Ouch.
bitch, I know what the fuck I'm talking about."
Felon Bay did that to me.
And that happened to me.
Yeah.
And my previous one, they're like, so you think you're better than me,
Right.
Or you think you know more? And it's once I was at that point, like I said, we were going east west.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you can reel that back in to
No,
say.
I be having to check myself, like, because I literally thought, it's funny because he checked me on something that I thought myself a couple of days prior, like, yo, he actually has been spot on with almost every single thing that I've come to him with in a while now.
Right.
Like, so I had to like start giving him more credit for things that I overlooked, like especially common sense, because I think that the cheating or the girls or the this or the that just kind of makes you just put them in the corner and not even give them
But
credit
not only
for
that,
anything.
then your ego,
Yeah.
when you see where you're at and what you're doing, you don't want to listen to the person who's hurt you.
Right.
Or you don't want to listen to the person that you feel like, damn it, he can't see where I'm at because he's doing everything I'm telling him not to do. So there's no way he's fucking smart because he's a fucking idiot.
Right.
Because niggas ain't shit.
But then on the other hand, he'll say something like, you only pay attention to the negative shit.
Right.
Though, because
and we do, because that's what hurts us. That's like social
Yeah.
media right now. We're
oh
like,
yeah, there's one negative comment.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a million positive ones and there's a negative. And you're like, bitch, you don't know me.
Right,
You go right
right.
back to it. So it's like, damn.
I mean, but we also talked about this, and I'm not sure if it was even on an episode at all, but just with my friends, in terms of when you share your relationship with your friends, you call and tell them what that nigga is doing to piss you off.
Mhm,
Right.
9 times out of 10, you're not sharing the positive. So a lot of times you don't even have the reinforcement of your friends or family
Right.
because your friends and family
Only
are-
know bad shit.
and they're writing them niggas off before you do.
Yeah, of course.
So when
Every
you
time.
finally get to your friends and they see that you keep going back, they don't understand why the fuck you keep going back because all you've shared is what this motherfucker has
That's
done
my
wrong.
whole
It has
entire
that happened
life.
to you? Because that happened to me those
That's
6
happened with
years.
everybody probably listening to this episode.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Now even okay, so he says to me, I'm gonna use an example of
That's
something
fine.
like when we're arguing, right? I was like, you don't do anything but bring me down.
Mm.
He's like, bitch, I fucking funded your whole book. Like, how the fuck am I bringing you down when I'm helping you pursue your dreams?
Right.
Like, this is the first book.
Wait, let him finish.
Right? This was his thing. He was like, you can't say I'm only bringing you down when I'm there. And anything that you needed to go to the next level or any fork in the road that you just needed a little push or help or direction or a resource or money or whatever, I did that for you.
Mm.
And now every single time you get mad, you forget all the good shit that I did. You know what I mean? So, and he wasn't saying it to throw it in my face, but he was saying like, I'm not saying it to throw it in your face, but you do forget like all the positive things that I
Speak to
do
it,
do.
'cause I'm not
I don't
feeling
agree
that
with you.
either.
I feel
Why?
like
I would
he
do
is
that.
throwing it in your he is
he
throwing
is.
it in your face.
Yes.
No, I
and-
think he was defending himself.
No, that's not a defense, because why? He did that. What did you do it for, 1? And 2, just because he threw money at you and helped you monetarily, that does not take away the pain. And that pain can literally overshadow anything monetarily that he might have put to.
No, he's
anybody, any nigga could have gave you money, Cutty.
But they
You
didn't.
could,
Yeah,
no, but they could have, because you had him.
No.
But you could have. If he didn't give you that money, you would have gotten that money for that book.
Wait.
No.
Can I draw a parallel to this?
What?
Actually, so I grew up single parent household.
Mhm.
My dad felt like because he paid child support and because he did what he needed to do financially
Right.
as a father, that he did what he was supposed to do as a father. Without bringing forth everything that needed to be taught as a father-daughter
Right.
relationship, an intimate relationship, those type of aspects of a relationship. And so if we bring it to full forefront with your relationship
Yeah.
with your partner, to me, he's bringing what he's done to you financially, but there's been a beat down mentally
And emotionally.
and emotionally for the places that he wasn't in. So to feel like he's filled in the void or the gaps where he wasn't there for you emotionally, he's voided with financial perks. To me, negates what your relationship really is.
No, it's like, okay, and I'm not defending him because I don't
course.
accept that when we are arguing. when
I
we're
know.
arguing, I'm like,
Facts.
I don't give a fuck.
And I
you
see
know?
what you're saying. You take a step back because you are with him. You're like, wow, he did do something. Do you know your love language and
Yeah,
his?
it's acts of service and quality time tied.
Is his by any chance gifts?
No, it's touch. Sex addict.
Dick, bitch.
Exactly.
He wants to
No.
suck. Oh, okay.
So this is my thing. He doesn't try to defend himself with saying like, oh, totally forget about what I've done emotionally or mentally. He's saying that you just don't give credit at all, period. You know, like, and that is
But that's coming during arguments.
what?
Him saying this is coming during an argument, correct?
Yeah, to defend himself, because he's saying like, when my argument is, oh, you bring me down,
Right,
or
right.
blah blah blah, and that hasn't been recently, cause we've been pretty good recently, but
How long have you guys been back together?
since July. Yeah. I'm like thinking, yeah, since July. So now that, but I'm just saying, in some arguments,
Right.
he's like, don't forget what I have done. Right?
And we shouldn't.
And he's like, listen, I'm not saying I'm
hate
the
that.
greatest. What? Don't
I
forget
hate
what I
that.
have done?
I hate that.
No, because if it was the other way around, like I know that I'm double standard.
You
right?
do you do that? So to me, like, my dad bought us name brand shoes in middle school. Nigga, he's tried to bring that up to me as an adult. All those times I was there for you. Do you remember what I did when your mom wasn't there?
Shit.
So to me, the whole don't forget what I've done to you, that brings whatever act they did to be disingenuous.
Yeah.
I don't really look at it.
You
like
don't look at it that way?
No,
I do.
because
I look at
do.
it that way. Too.
I think that everybody has the right to defend themselves with what they felt they were doing at the time.
But I think he's defending
in good faith. So, for example, I know that we do not like for people to bring up anything, right? I'm gonna parallel it to something that's not in a relationship, right? So let's say we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like you could I'm gonna use this example. Somebody told me you should ask your friends, what friend are you? Like which friend
that.
are you
As far as
to them, right?
what kind of different friends are there?
So they will describe you So for example, I said this all stemmed from, I told everybody, I'm not the help you move friend, okay? I'm just motherfucking not. So please do not hold it against me when your ass is moving and I don't come and help.
Right.
Because I'm not going to come help pack, and I'm not going to come help unpack, and I might send you a couple $100 to help you with the mover, like, but
That's me. I done told my friends, I might not fly in for your baby shower, but I'm going to send you some baby shower. Like,
Right.
I'll send you some money to buy your baby
right.
shower. shit.
So
Also, you staying friends with them with the baby?
They
Because
al-
you told me if I have a baby, we can't be friends.
they had babies while we were friends.
I have a baby while we were friends.
We won't be friends.
she like can't do the little ones anymore.
Right.
So this came about because I was like, you can't get mad at me that I'm not gonna do the same thing for you that you would do for me. I
Okay.
said, now mind you, my friends came to help me pack and unpack and move. They were there for like 3 days in a row, helping me sell shit, post shit, pack shit, the whole entire house. They've helped me twice move, right?
But that's who they are.
And I would never do it for them, even though they did it for me.
you. Okay.
So I'm using this as an example,
I
right?
like
so
this example.
I'm like, all right. So I said to them, so I was like, well, so everybody like, well, what the fuck would you do for them? You
Right.
know? I'm like, well, I'm the motherfucking money friend. I said, because when people motherfucking need money, I seem to be the one that these bitches be calling.
Right.
Right? So I call like 6 friends on speaker. And I'm like, what friend am I to you? Right? Do you know none of these bitches said the money friend? So I'm pissed. I'm pissed now. Because the people that I gave the most money to never said, well, you're always there for me financially if I ever need. I could call you if I need, so, if I'm in emergency, whatever the case would be. No, that's not what they said about me. I was like, wait, hold on. Wait, so they just going to forget the times that I just handed over a couple $1,000? They said I was like the analytical truth teller, friend that they call when they want, sound advice and this and that. And I'm like the advice friend. I'm like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I give everybody advice. I gave you money. That meant something to me. I don't give everybody thousands of dollars to borrow. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that's what touched them. Their advice.
This is what I'm saying. So with him, he's like, okay, you want to bring up the cheating, whatever, but when I gave you that money, it was out of the goodness of my heart.
So he doesn't trick on the other bitches that suck his dick.
No.
That's probably what it is.
No.
Okay. Like even so.
Like literally. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry, real quick.
No,
recently,
not
recently, but recently.
This makes sense.
Recently enough, caught in his phone, him talking to a bitch, and she's up there just begging for stuff, but he's not doing it.
Financial.
Yeah, like she's like, anything, oh, you didn't get me a birthday gift, you didn't get me a, this gift, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, all of this stuff that he didn't do. Mind you, my birthday was lit. So I'm out there like,
we saw you in Santorini.
Right, I'm like,
that.
yeah. So I'm like,
or a Golfy Coast or whatever.
Amalfi.
Whatever.
Right. So I'm like, okay. So to him, he's like,
the Gulf Coast bitch.
I gave you. He's like, I gave you my hard-earned money. You know, like it means something to me. So that's the only reason why I take into consideration when he says stuff like that. Because when my friends didn't name me as the friend who they could call for when, they need something, I was like, I was offended. They told me about some goddamn advice. I'm like, no, what about the times I help you pay your motherfucking rent?
Right.
You're like, bitch, I give advice on Instagram all day long.
Exactly.
No.
That makes sense.
I rock with it.
I rock with it. So basically, you're going to rock with that as long as you feel comfortable and as long as you want to. And
we're having a great time now. Like, now that I'm in his space, he, like, loves it. Because I'm like, I cook every day. I'm like, breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Okay, so this could be something different that you guys are trying that you didn't have before.
Oh, yeah. This is totally new chapter.
Okay.
I've never really.
I like cooking for niggas. I feel like that I know she don't like this. Look
What?
at her. She about to be
What?
real mad.
I love cooking, yes.
I love to cook for a man.
No.
I love to pamper you. I love
Me
to
too.
like wake up
Me
in the
too.
morning and be like, my favorite question is, baby, what do you want to eat?
Me too.
Like, and they love that.
That's cute once you get a title. Doing all that shit.
I don't
doing
care.
I don't care either.
Yeah,
it's going to get you a title, sweetheart.
No, that's the problem. No, the fuck it's not.
Yes,
it doesn't work that way for a lot of people. Just because you cook for a nigga and do girlfriend material things doesn't mean you're going to be
okay, it's
girlfriend.
not 100%
But guess
guaranteed.
What?
I enjoy. I'm not doing it necessarily to be a girlfriend. Like, if we're having a good time, I cook for you the same way I cook for a man.
Yeah.
So it's like, but for a man, it means
I don't
something
be eating
different.
your pussy. Let it be known.
Huh?
I do not be eating that pussy.
Disgusting.
But
you
listen,
better stop it
look,
right now.
The funniest thing about that is that while she's saying, I'm not doing all of that
right.
that could get you it faster because they'll be like,
much
always
faster.
say, if they have two bitches to choose from,
They
gonna choose me, baby.
and one without food, they going to the
it's
food.
okay. You know what I'm about to do? Post testimonials of my friends. She can cook. She can cook. She can cook. Nigga, if you make her your girlfriend, she'll cook for you. That's it.
Why?
No, I'm not.
You were a great
And Mandy
cook.
can make some black
That's
eyed
what I'm
peas, some
saying.
collard
Look,
greens, some
I'm literally-
At the same
Mind
time, we
you-
said it. You
Mind
can
you,
cook.
Thanksgiving is, for Thanksgiving, she has me cooking the collard greens for her black ass family. her man's black ass family. And the yams because this bitch wanted to make spicy yams.
You gonna stop
Spicy?
saying this shit on this fucking podcast.
You did.
The spicy is not spicy yams. I never said anything about yams. I said I make sweet potato fries.
Sweet
like I
potato
bake them
is
and I make
yam.
them spicy.
Okay.
So she keeps lying to everybody, changing the fucking
said
story.
spicy, yeah.
I
You know
didn't say
what?
nothing about
That's
spicy
mad
yams.
funny.
Carla, let's do the shit you should know. What's going
Okay,
on?
so the shit you should know.
You like me with my outline, even on shit I'm 30, bitch.
Right. I was like, damn, I'm gonna reel this one back in.
I got you.
It was really funny. So in Africa, something came up. I don't know have you experienced like the death of a family member or someone close and have to go through insurance? So I did it, but well, my dad had no damn insurance. That nigga was like, figure it out. I hope I left y'all enough money. Figure it out, niggas. But this relative, I know that insurance sometimes can be tricky and you can like maybe not get the money. Well, these relatives brought their family member's corpse into the insurance office after the company demanded that they show more proof that he was dead.
Bro, you're
so they refused to give them the insurance money. It's called Old Mutual.
No death certificate? I'm confused.
Yes, they had it. They're from South Africa, somewhere in KwaZulu Natal. So since you're a very cultured friend, you love to talk about your Africa.
So I did go to South Africa. I went to Johannesburg and Cape Town.
Okay.
And visited the township of Soweto. That's as much as I know.
Oh, you did? No, this is not Soweto. This was KwaZulu Natal. Okay. So basically their claim was $1,700, whatever their money amount is, and they delayed it for 9 days. And what happens is that in their culture, they have a ritual in their tribe that they have to do within a certain amount of days. So they didn't want to keep waiting because they needed to do something with the body. It's a part of their culture, and they didn't want to give them the money they needed. They're very poor, and they're like, we need this money to get this done. So it passed them. And when this insurance company he was only 46 years old, by the way. Very young. So I am going to post the video on social media because there is a video of these women actually picking up the body bag, taking it out of the car, bringing it in, and they got the money. Right then and there.
Get the dead body out of here, bitch.
Yes. They literally brought the uncle in there. They said, is this enough proof for you? They made some phone calls. They were shocked. They brought the dead body in there, and they're like, we need to give us the money now.
They said, we need the funeral tomorrow.
Cut the check. Cut the motherfucking check. So they cut the check.
CTC, baby.
His name is Hamachi. So they gave him the money, and I think it's hilarious, and I'm thinking,
I love yellowtail hamachi.
What is that?
It's like raw fish.
You would like raw fish.
Hamachi crudo. And then they put a little jalapeno on it. Okay, my bad. Carry on.
You hungry?
A little bit.
So I thought this is a crazy story because there's certain things that we would do, when somebody passes away and where you're like pushed to the limit. There's things that we'll do. Like bring a fucking dead body into an office and get the money back.
That is.
Yeah, so I think, and it's something that we also say, don't fuck with black people. Like we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're not gonna say him be nice. We called you.
We.
If
you're
Caucasian
you're
ass, don't say
Latino.
again with your white ass.
And you said black people we, and I'm like, whoa, calm down.
I still don't We're not gonna have this conversation right now. We're gonna do this later. If you want to do it for Patreon later when we finish up, we can do this. But I will do this whole race talk again.
All right.
Because race and ethnicity are two different things.
Here we go with the bullshit.
But I'm not gonna do it. So that was the shit you should know. And then going back to, so I'm gonna post. I just thought that was like funny and crazy because don't fuck with us. Like don't fuck with our families. Don't fuck with our money.
Right.
We need that money. And somebody fuck with my money, we gonna have a problem. So going back into our where here we go. So I wanted to ask you: have you dated a younger man? In your breaks?
3 years. That's it.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
So this is more for her because she loves children.
Wait, one moment.
So I wanted
you
to know.
You cannot say that on a public platform.
Children that are of age.
Everyone.
Young adults.
Young adults. Definitely young adults. So would you want to be called a cougar or willing to be like, I'm dating like this older woman?
No, the elder.
The elder.
So that's literally.
That's it. The elder or a cougar? Which one would you want to be referred to?
I would like to be preferred as the teacher. Thank you very much.
This motherfucker.
I'm going to teach you some things, young man.
And that's exactly what she says too. I have seen these messages, especially when the last one had just finished prom.
Whoa, calm down.
Okay,
prom
had just had prom.
He was committed to college.
18.
He was committed to college.
He had just turned 18. Had just graduated.
I could never.
And she's like, he's gonna go to the All McDonald thing.
He was a McDonald All-American.
I could never.
Done. He went to
3 years is.
Yo, calm down. And we're about to edit all this shit out.
3 years.
Stupid ass bitch.
3 years is the.
3 years. I like older
So the youngest that I've talked to. So I'm 29 now. I have gone down as low as 22. 21.
She's like,
at 29, bitch, I just turned 29 in October.
Literally, she turned 29 3 days ago.
Calm
So she's
down.
like, in these past 3 days, the youngest was.
No, I don't think that there's any title. Like I said, even
They're gonna talk about you to their friends. A 21-year-old
what
right
they
now.
call, like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I got this older bitch.
Like,
Right.
and I'm
That's
fine
what
with
it's
older
gonna
bitch.
be.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. My niggas probably don't like that I call them hoes and tricks and sugar daddies
You
and
sure do.
you know what I mean? So I honestly don't care what I'm referred to as to your friends, because like none of the names that I have for my niggas are degrading to me when I talk to you, and I be like, ooh, my hoe, one of my tricks.
Yeah,
They
we call them
they
tricks
know
more
though?
often.
I do
Yeah,
call
she
them
talks
tricks.
it on
I
podcasts
say it all the
time.
time, and they listen, and they just know which one I'm talking about, whatever
Yeah.
one they is.
Yeah, no, I'm not that type.
No.
We know.
No, I'm like, I'll play the part with you. Like, I'm not gonna make you feel like that. You ain't even gonna know you spent all your money.
At all. At all.
So for me, it's different because like these men have been in my life for a long time, so
Okay.
they've seen like the growth, and I'm very transparent, especially if you are married or in a relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Then to me, like I said it. Like one of my guys, I'll give him attitude, and he'll be like, "Everybody getting this attitude today, or is it just me?" So like, there's no really like they know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and I told Carla like, I've been on a trip with another nigga, and one of my tricks had to send me money because that nigga ain't get his check on time.
No,
Type shit.
I've never in life let guys know I was dealing with other guys.
But do you not feel like in the realm, especially today in our culture where casual sex is more a thing, multiple partners is a well-known thing, is that not something that should be?
I'm stroking your ego.
Yeah.
And you're
I'm
going to
not-
feel like I only love you.
This
And
is
if
great.
I'm going
Now
to go
they
into
know that
that.
you're a liar.
But
Oh.
this is exactly why I can only be but so mad at the dude that I deal with, because I'm the same way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why
Makes
when
sense.
people be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe all that advice you give, you deal with somebody like that." Da, 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 da. I'm like, they'd be like, "Oh, you're dealing with a narcissist." I'm like, I'm a narcissist.
But to me, but to me, I automatically think of, especially if you're dealing with multiple people, my mind frame automatically goes to, but baby, you're the only one I'm fucking raw, or we're fucking each other, and you ain't fucking with no one else, right? We don't need condoms, and that's where my mind goes to automatically, especially
It's a
with
disease and shit.
especially with a lot of women being on birth control. Now it's like, okay, the baby's not in the mind, but now,
There's so
okay,
many
since
other
I can't
things.
get pregnant, but that doesn't automatically come to mind. So if you're not being open about your other partners, then now it's
That's
like,
your responsibility to be like,
yeah, but it's your
No.
responsibility. But if both of you are sitting here saying, oh, I'm not going to tell them about my other partners, then you guys are kind of living in this fantasy realm of where you're not thinking of all the other partners they may or may not be having, and they're probably not going to ask you because you're saying you're the only nigga I'm fucking right now.
I think
Yeah.
if I'm in this situation and I know that I'm lying, I'm gonna strap up.
that's what I'm saying. That's I was just
Yeah.
about to say the
Because
same
it's like
thing.
if I know that I think if I were to get back in and I'm gonna do this whole like tricking or whatever, I'm going to play the martyr. I'm gonna be like, baby, I need you. Like I'm gonna give you all my attention when I'm with you. When I'm not with you, that's what it is. And this is outside of I love relationships. But if I were out, I'm not gonna tell you. And if I'm gonna sit here and deal with multiple people at the same time and me know that
Right.
I'm dealing with them, I'm probably
Right, if I know I'm lying, then you
Right.
probably
But you're
lying.
saying I'll probably goes to show
because
that
I know that I'm human at the end of the day.
right.
I will never say like I will only do condoms. I can't
Right.
guarantee that
And-
at all.
And I get that, but that's my point in saying that if you're going to have these multiple partners, not to be
Give the other person the choice.
give that right. And so to me, in this realm of being exclusive but not exclusive,
Let me
quote
tell you
unquote,
something.
that's the whole conversation. But look, y'all both ain't hearing me. So next topic.
But wait, real quick, the reason why I feel like none of this matters is because if a guy want to have sex with Aurora, he just want to have sex with Aurora. He don't care who else you fucking. Because
but you
God,
should care.
no, I know, but what I'm saying
Right.
is, if whether you tell him or not, if he want to fuck Aurora,
He's gonna fuck.
he gonna fuck Aurora. Because
Disgusting.
there's plenty of guys
They don't care.
who have sex with women who have boyfriends raw. Like if she got a whole
Valid.
man,
At home.
then clearly they fucking raw.
Right.
So it's like they don't really be caring.
I feel like most men don't care.
Listen, all I think
takes
about,
a
stop
plus.
worrying about them, worry about you. Like
Right.
if you don't want anything, you strap up.
Okay, I can fuck with that.
That's it.
I can fuck with that.
Yeah, that was like if you're really worried about it, which I think I would if I'm in that situation, I'm a strap up.
Right.
And
I
then
fuck
there's
with
gonna be times where I just don't give a fuck and I just won't do it.
You just
I'm like,
make
fuck
it. A
it. Give me whatever you got.
Right.
It is what it is. It feels good.
You know, one of my videos be
Disgusting.
like, bitch,
You're
go get your own
so
STD.
Yo.
Don't let no nigga give you the STD. You better go get your own
Yo,
STD.
you do it on your own because you wanted it, not because they took that change.
No,
away
Cutty,
from
I'm
you.
this is not a 60-second
No.
Instagram video.
No.
What are you saying?
Get your own.
No, because there's all of these girls who be home talking about that they faithful and shit, knowing that they nigga cheating. I'm like, it's worse when you at home faithful and he come and bring you something. Bitch, go
Right?
get your own STD.
I mean, it makes sense in the spectrum of all things. Like, you're not gonna feel as bad. Like, you're gonna be home heartbroken. Like, I was doing so good and it still came to me. Like, no.
Yeah.
At least
Y'all-
enjoy
exactly.
the STD you finna get, bitch.
Y'all-
Enjoy it.
It better come from a big old dick too.
Big.
Goddamn it.
It probably will, because you're not gonna cheat with a little dick.
You facts.
You have the little dick at home and go get the big dick
Yeah,
outside. Boom. So that
exactly.
big dick probably gonna be
'Cause we
dirty.
usually cheat for bigger dick or more money.
And this is a
And
whole.
if you got the money with the little gonorrhea, what? That's what you gonna do?
And this is a whole audiogram. Let's go to the next. What
Okay.
you got next?
Would you care if your ex started dating your best friend?
That ain't my best friend.
It
That
sure ain't.
That ain't my
So
best
let me
friend.
tell you right now what I just saw on Instagram, because I be creeping. So I just saw a friend of mine. She actually used to fuck with my brother. So I'm cool with her, and I saw that my ex and her started following each other. And I was like, whoa, why this is random. You know, and her page is private. He don't really use this. I was like, is this something? You know? So and it's not a best friend by any chance, but when I saw that, and I'm like, that's weird. If they were, I mean, there's nothing really I could say. But a best friend? Hell no.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Not a best friend.
Of all the people in the world.
Yeah, she's my best friend.
I would say, in terms of crew loving is what I like to call it. I don't believe that any one person should keep me from finding my soulmate. However,
So you cool with the April and
no,
Fizz thing?
let me say
No,
that.
but no.
I'm not.
Oh, I
However-
didn't even think of them.
However, I do believe in codes.
Mhm.
So, and I
Okay,
have this
code.
conversation with my friends a lot because
You
know
be
there's-
getting mad all the time.
well, no, there's a blurred line between the hoe code and the friend code.
Mhm.
And bitch, a lot of my friends are hoes. So there's
she has
blurred
to explain
lines.
this to me. Like,
There's
big time.
blurred lines a lot. But to me,
Mm.
as
Mhm.
women,
I get it.
you know what I mean? Like, I get if someone's going after a trick that's my trick, that like
That's the whole code.
there's a hoe code and there's a friend code. However, as women, we need to decide where we stand.
Mhm.
And to me, a friend, a best friend, someone who I've invited into my home, maybe
Right.
loaned money to, has met my mom, has met my other friends.
Who probably went through that breakup with me.
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Then there are lines that aren't crossed. And if you are my friend,
Right.
you're not going after my ex. It
even
doesn't
if he
matter.
comes after you.
I don't even care if this
Right.
is an ex. Yeah, you don't do that.
Right.
You don't do that. But that's where I think people don't compartmentalize, specifically women, their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the friends we have a good time out with in the club.
Right.
We have the friends that we talk to on the phone for hours. Cuddy and I can be on the phone for goddamn shit. We're on the phone actually like over
Yeah.
a few hours a week.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about growing ourselves.
Right.
Me and Cuddy don't really talk about our personal lives much.
Yeah.
We talk about our professional lives and where we are as individuals in this creative space.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't know much about her boyfriend, her love life, her sex life, when she's sucking dick, when she's not. But we have this friendship.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think that as we grow up, we're not in high school anymore. And in high school, middle school, every girl we hang out with is our friend.
Ayana has a new best friend every week,
Right.
bro.
And so as
Your
an
daughter?
adult,
Yes.
as an adult, being that we're making friends in our early 20s, our mid 20s, our
Mhm.
30s, our
30s.
40s, coworkers, friends
Yeah,
that we
there's
meet
different
through mutual
levels
friends.
of friends.
So many.
You
I did a whole
have to-
episode on different levels.
You have to compartmentalize. And if a friend does indeed pursue an ex, you as an adult have to realize where that person lied in
Yeah.
your
Right.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I see that. And so a best friend,
Like
No.
you
'Cause
knew
this
better,
says,
bro.
This
You
says
knew better.
best friend. Like
Yeah.
you nasty.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know
And
better.
when you mentioned the whole Fizz and Omarion
Yeah.
and April thing, I don't think Fizz and Omarion were best friends.
They weren't.
I think they were literally coworkers.
They may not have
They grew
been,
up together
but-
because of the music thing, and I think that makes it a little bit more weird because they worked together, but probably he didn't see him as somebody that close, and he saw
No,
her
his
closer, but it's
kids
still
were
weird.
calling him uncle or not something, right?
Right. Right.
Weird.
That was a little weird.
Yeah, I would have a problem with it, and I think that if that happened, I would probably distance myself from that friend.
Not only that, I mean, and
You're not about to bring my ex to fucking Thanksgiving, bitch.
Right.
I'll fuck your ass up with this
Right.
turkey knife.
Right.
But I think even there's levels to that in terms of coworkers, like, and I can speak to it because so both of you had male co-hosts.
Right.
Right.
You were on So Shameless with Tahoe. You had Anthony at one point, and he's left. Luckily, y'all weren't dipping in the same swimming pool anyway. But for me, even though we're not friends, if we're gonna talk about the Fizz and Omarion situation, being that I have a female co-host with Horrible Decisions,
Right.
I personally, bitch, we break bread together.
Right.
Your bills are being paid based off of what we're creating together.
Well, that's not a coworker, bitch. You have a business partner.
Right.
Yeah.
So coworker, I'm
B2
working at AT&T
B2
call
yeah,
center.
yeah.
I'm gonna take
Okay.
your man.
Yeah.
I'm taking your
Okay,
man.
but
That's
B2K
funny.
is a business.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
to me,
they're partners.
so to me, if we're gonna bring them into the coworker space, not really, because to me,
I see what you're saying.
I would, baby girl, you better never fuck anyone I'm fucking,
Right.
and you're paying my bill. You're helping me pay my bills. I'm helping you pay your bills.
Right.
So with the Omarion and Fizz thing,
More
it was a
business
little bit
partners.
more. It was a little bit more than coworkers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so to me, Fizz is 100% wrong.
And it's
because
just been so long. You know what I mean?
here, they're
It's like your
posters
whole
were on
half
my
of
wall.
your whole life.
Your whole, half of your life. At
Yeah.
least. At least.
It is weird. It is weird. So, one more that I actually wanted to touch with you because we're both experiencing, Mandy and I spoke to you about it. So, it's what's the hardest part of dealing with social anxiety? I have never really had social anxiety. I've always been a very anxious person since I was a little girl. I dealt with anxiety basically my entire life, which we have been told and we talk about with mental health. We're just told we're crazy or we're different. We need to get it together. We're acting up. But I'm experiencing this different side of social anxiety ever since I left corporate and started working by myself because my workspace now involves me in a room or me in a space like this. So this is about to be shared to thousands of people, but really it's just the three of us here. So I'm not, it seems like it's an audience, an auditorium, like I teach my people during my consultations. I say, when you're doing a podcast, imagine yourself on a stage and there's an auditorium of 200, 500, 1,000, 20,000, 100,000 people sitting in that auditorium. You're bringing them in. But I'm not actually seeing them or feeling that. So I've been feeling very anxious socially when I come to New York, when I leave New York, when I go back home. And I wanted to see how you deal with it because although you're very, very active on social media, I don't see you out in many places.
She not. If you want to talk about friends, this is what we talk about too, bitch. We have spent hours dissecting this with Cutty.
Yeah.
Because Cutty
I'm an
online,
introvert.
and mind you, Cutty came onto Horrible Decisions. Me and Weezy almost fangirled our first time. I said, Cutty, we've been following you since 2009.
Yeah.
We love you, your tweets, everything that you do. And now she is very open on Instagram.
Yeah.
And her audience automatically looks at her as an older sister or a bestie in their
Right.
head. And so you're doing the tour. You're visible now as well. With Twitter, you were behind an Abby.
Yeah.
With Instagram, you're now more open. And I tell her, you have to get out. You have to get out. And she doesn't.
But
Uh-huh.
even for her tour, you choose to make them very small and intimate.
Yeah.
Intimate. So I'm curious to know, how do you deal with
it?
social anxiety now that you are more in the forefront and you're meeting people face to face?
Okay, so this is a great topic because it's literally something that I battle with every
Yes.
single day, and there's just so many areas of it that is that I'm trying to overcome, right? So, number one, everybody meets me and they're expecting me to be on the bar, like going crazy, like wilding out, dancing, being wild, crazy, you know, like,
and you're just chilling.
and I'm probably sitting down, being quiet, and then somebody's passing me a drink. I'm like, no, I don't really drink like that.
Fuck.
Right? So I don't really drink like that, right? I didn't
Right.
even start drinking until I was like 28, 29 years old.
Jesus.
Yeah. Because I just,
It's not your thing.
yeah. I was always the designated driver. I didn't even know that.
And we need you.
and you know, all the alcohol that they was shoving down your throat in the clubs back in the day was vodka, and I was like, ugh, it's disgusting.
As we drink
vodka, bitch.
Right? So I'm like thinking that they all taste like that until like I get to like
I told you we had to
Costa
bring
Rica or
champagne,
something,
bitch.
and they
I
get
told
like
you. You
right,
did, you did.
She wants champagne.
So and they're like, here's a mojito, try this. I'm like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that one tastes
Like,
good.
whatever. So people definitely think that I'm, because of the tweets,
A big extrovert.
they think that I'm wild and crazy, and I'm not, right? That's number one. Number two is people like, how are you so shy when you have all these videos? I'm like, I do the videos alone in my house
phone and my camera.
by myself. It's me and the phone, and I can't do my videos in front of anybody.
Like
Like,
to do it alone. I'm the same
I
way.
wouldn't be able to do a video here,
right.
like in front of anybody, because I'll be like,
Why are you staring at me?
yeah. I'll mess up 50,000 times. And then also now that I'm nice, but I'm not friendly. So
It is
if
a
you
difference.
come to me, if you come to me, I will be nice.
Right.
But it's very rare that I'm going to introduce myself to you or go to you.
You're not approaching yourself.
Yeah,
so.
I don't approach really. So people seem to so now that people come to me, I'm like, ugh. So first of all, there's this new thing now, right? Like before it would be, can you take a picture with me or can I take a picture?
Now they walk up to you.
Oh no, you don't have a choice anymore. So you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Literally now they come. I was in Harlem one day eating with my friend, and a girl came and sat next to me and put the camera in my face and was like, "Come on, girl, let's take this picture real quick so you can get back to your dinner."
Shut up.
Like sat
And
next
you don't
to
even
me
know where
at
they're
the
coming
table. Right. So she sat next to me at the table and did that. Now at this point, I'm so used to it, and I'm getting more and more used to it. So I don't mind.
I feel like you shouldn't get used to things like that because you don't know who's who.
No, I know, but like, I can't stop everybody from doing what they're gonna do, right?
That would put me into a bubble where I don't want to get out.
No, I don't go out. That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
She don't, and that's
So-
the problem. And I'm literally like on the phone with Cutty, like,
Yeah, she's like, you have
okay,
to go.
we're speaking on your brand. We're speaking
How
on
the fuck he get through?
what?
Yeah.
How the
So this is my thing, right? Another thing that's been me having to network with people
We've talked
is
about
my
this too.
biggest feat, right? It's such a
Ooh.
plight. Like, so because now I have everybody who's like, oh, you need to make friends with that person, and you need to make friends with that person, and you need to talk to that person, and you need to, and I'm like, So now I'll be in a space with somebody, right? If you only knew how, I'm standing there and I know that I'm supposed to talk to this person, whoever it is. Like, let's say, you know, somebody's like, oh, so-and-so's going to be there. You should really introduce yourself to her, you know? So now I'm there probably for 45 minutes
And you
saying
won't
to, in my mind, like, just go say hi. Just go say hi. Just go and say, you know, or tell them, wait, okay, so how do you do that? And I'm literally driving myself crazy inside my head about how I'm going to approach this person, how I'm going to introduce. And they may know me or have heard of me or have seen me. Like, oh, but what about if they be like, who the fuck are you? And da-da-da-da. And in my mind, I'm driving myself insane.
And you never go?
Can I share a story?
Yeah.
This is, Cutty and I hung out a few times prior to this,
Uh-huh.
but Cutty and I went to Joe Budden's show,
Uh-huh.
one of his first live podcast shows, and Savon's walking around and he's getting
Oh, yeah.
questions.
I forgot about that.
Yes, he's getting questions. He actually goes around and gets pre-screened
he does that.
questions
Yeah.
for Q&A for the Joe Budden podcast when it's live.
I lied on mine.
So Cutty has a great one, and it's pretty much like, how do you ask your man to pay for your nails or some shit like
Right.
that? Some shit that aligned with her book that
Right.
was that had just dropped or was dropping very soon. And so I'm like, Cutty, you have to ask that. So I get up with my question, but I'm like, hey, as soon as I get up, because you know I'm loud as fuck,
Right.
I'm like, I'm with my friend and she needs to ask a question. So Cutty's like, no. And I literally have to be like, she has a book coming out called
Yeah.
and
Well,
I'm
you-
like,
you-
this
you
is
do
your
this.
time. We're at Stoney Hall. There's over 500 people. You're about to ask a question that's going to rile up the crowd. This is where you're in a space. Mind you, This bitch has been to Joe's house. She knows Joe. She knows Rory. She knows Maul.
Yeah.
You're talking to your friends. There's no need to be nervous in this space, but being in a space.
But you
and I
can't
said,
help that
Cutty,
when it comes to social
goddamn you.
anxiety.
Yeah. So seeing that, and I'm like, bro, you know.
She was like, what the fuck was that? Afterwards, I was like, she's like, say your book.
literally by her, and I'm like, promote your shit.
Right.
You're in the audience.
She's like, it's Mandy from a Horrible Decisions podcast.
She be quick,
right,
too.
and I'm like a little
What's
mouse.
my name?
Right. Yo, it's crazy. And then like now.
So how are you dealing with it now? Because you
You-
have
yeah,
to go out.
No,
You're-
I challenge myself. Like one step at a time, right? So
Okay.
like that's one step at a time in my head, I mean.
Okay.
So like,
But then putting action to it.
yeah. So recently, before I was going somewhere for work, and before we got there, they were like, "Oh, well, so and so is gonna be here. You should really talk to her," you know. And I'm like, "Okay, okay, we'll see." So I go, and I had to like really start saying stuff like I kind of just. You know how like you just jump off a cliff?
Yeah.
That's what it felt
Literally.
like. I literally had to like just toss myself, because I think the rejection
Mm-hmm.
is what really fucks with me the most, or people being like, like I don't know you, why are you talking to me? You know, like or just like the energy.
Right.
So rejection and energy are two big things that I'm like
What if it's off?
nervous.
It's a fear.
of.
I tell people whether they're meeting someone, whether they're dating and asking a nigga for money, which you talk about in your book.
And I could do it with guys all
but
day.
that's what I'm saying. The worst that
That's
can
what I want.
happen, and this is what you have to train your mind to. If you're talking about steps on how to get over it, the worst that can happen is they tell you no.
Mhm.
As soon as you become an individual who's okay with rejection,
Mhm.
shit becomes easy. Oh, bitch, I be hopping
And
in
you-
DMs,
I'm okay
bitch.
with rejection, but not in person.
I
But
be
not
shooting my
like in
shot.
person. Like I would feel, but I'm like I said, and
You
I
feel
prove
embarrassed?
myself.
What you said you feel? What are your feelings when you get rejected
The
in
crazy
person?
thing is that I've never
She's
felt
never been
the feeling.
rejected.
Right.
So that's the
Bitch.
thing. So I had to keep
She
on
has
saying to
that
myself.
fear of the unknown.
I kept on having to say to myself, every time you thought that it was gonna go that other way, it didn't.
doesn't.
They
It's
were
like when
so warm and
When
welcoming.
you jump
and
that cliff, the few times that
Exactly.
you've been able to jump that cliff, you're like, oh my God, I landed on my 2 feet
When-
and it was great.
It was so funny because when I did my when I did my tour, the first tour I ever did was in Chicago. This was 2 years ago, 2017. And I walked in, and my assistant had put the chairs in rows. I was like, oh,
You hated
fuck
it.
no.
You
I
want a
was
circle.
like, I'm not being in front of the damn crowd. So I went and put everything in a circle.
And that's
Because
how
I
it's been
needed
ever
to
since.
be in the crowd, not in front of the crowd.
Oh, so that's why you do a circle every time.
Yeah, I do a circle so that I don't feel like I'm standing in front of people teaching. I want to talk with you guys. I don't feel like I know more than the next person. We just have different feelings about certain things, right? So while I can say, I wrote a book and I'm teaching people my ideology, it's like it doesn't mean that mine is better
Mhm.
than what you're doing. Like it's all about this is my mindset. This is the results of my mindset. Do you want to join?
My mindset.
And, right. Do
You want people to come. You don't want to go to them.
Right. Do you want to join this mindset or what? I just don't like to feel like I'm telling people what I'm doing is right and what you're doing
Doing
is
is
wrong.
wrong.
Right.
So
just wanna
I'd
teach.
rather us all be in a circle. We share the experiences. If you fuck with what I'm talking about, then
Cool.
Then
you
try
know,
it.
yeah. I mean, and sometimes,
I like
and I
that.
learn from people as well. So, like, some other people will be like, even, for example, when people say stuff like, if you get money from a man, he's going to try to control you. That's true.
It is true.
It's not that it's a lie, but I just learned how to not be controlled.
Right.
I mean, and sometimes maybe you are controlled.
But maybe you're allowing it. So
Exactly.
he thinks he's controlling, but you're like, yeah, okay.
Right.
I like that,
I'm
which
making
is,
you
which,
think.
which is why even in your book, and I did attend
Yeah.
one
The
of your book
podcast.
tours.
I mean, the book tour.
Yeah, and I think just like how we talked about compartmentalizing friends, you have to compartmentalize who you are as a woman. And so I like with what you do at your book tour specifically, you make women categorize themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And what type of woman are you, and seeing why you end up in the places you do with the men that you date.
Right.
Are you going on another
that.
tour? Are you done with? Is it done now?
She writing
Yeah, it's
again,
done
girl.
now.
She writing, girl. She got another one coming.
No, but you know what? I think that I'm gonna stick with this one for a little while because the topic just doesn't get stale, and it doesn't matter.
Timeless.
And now I'm actually getting the opportunity to talk to more men about it.
Nice.
Yeah, like I just came from another podcast.
you
before I came
have
here.
been doing a lot of
men
driven
yeah.
podcasts, which I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that.
So now
Are they arguing you down though?
no, they're not arguing me down, but they do. I don't want to say get defensive, but they just want to make sure that it's not about
Being
what can I
used.
get out of you? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
that they just want to make sure that it's not about you sucking them dry or taking advantage
What's
of
crazy
them.
I
is
feel like the way that you approach it with getting money from men, you're also giving them something. Whether it's a boost of ego,
Yeah.
you're with, you. When you speak to women in parts of your book, I'm looking like you're like, yeah, you're getting how to get money from them, but it's not always just getting money from them. You're like, you're gonna do certain things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like
It might be just going to dinner with them or going to an event with them or just maybe talking to them on the phone, but you're still giving them something they want.
Everybody should be getting something.
Right.
Right?
Mm.
So I just want everybody to know what that something is and be comfortable with whatever that is.
It's not
If
necessarily
you-
using the person.
If a guy wants to have sex with you and you want to have sex with him, have sex. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, go and have sex with each other and have a great sex session. Don't, after you have the sex, be like, how do I get money out of him? No, you were comfortable with the sex.
Right.
And what's the big deal? Like, if you don't be now mad that because somebody else is saying, oh, you should have got money or whatever the case may be. If the sex was great, you got great sex.
Right.
Now, I always say, you don't know if the sex is going to be great. So that's why I do kind of want a little bit of something. Maybe I do want a little steak just in case, you know?
Not
maybe,
steak.
maybe.
Cutty, shut the fuck
Because
up.
it might not be necessarily cash. You
Right.
want either a trip or
Yeah.
you want to say,
Yeah,
take
but-
me to dinner first, or you want to say,
Even
you know,
even a romantic dinner or a nice dinner or the opportunity. Okay, let's
Made
be
me feel
honest.
special.
Okay, let's be honest.
Make me feel special as fuck.
See, like what you were saying about the girl talk thing. How often do we really get dressed up and go to dinner?
Not often. I can.
I have a friend that does.
I have.
but
I
don't.
have went less than 5 times this entire year.
Right, and I'm talking dressed up, not just go to
Like
eat.
no. Like get it. Like
Bitch, I
heels,
haven't done that this year,
outfit.
period.
No, but you have a whole boyfriend out of nowhere, right? So
Oh, but
heels.
seriously, you see me and him getting dressed up?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
I
but
know,
that's,
we
what,
know,
so
we
that's
know.
what I'm saying. Like for someone,
but for a woman to like, oh my God, I'm going on a date. I'm doing my makeup. I'm
Right.
wearing heels. What outfit am I wearing? The excitement of getting dressed up for a
Yes.
date. I get that.
Okay.
We're not even doing that for these niggas.
right?
These niggas gonna get
Like
Adidas
we will go
shell
like
toe.
this in
I'm
the
gonna say,
Adidas
Adidas
fucking.
Yes, that's what they gonna get.
She don't even put on heels. She put them little wedges on. I'm like, bitch, what is that?
I don't wear wedges.
Girl,
That's
they-
not a wedge. It's a thick heel. I'm 32 years
the
old and my
chunky
knees
heel.
be hurt.
Yeah.
Yesterday
So
we went
ugly.
to a Friendsgiving and her heel was the size of a straw, bitch. You hear me?
Right, yeah.
And my knees and feet were hurting just looking at her walk.
Right.
I'm gonna have my thick heel and I'm gonna
Right.
be able to drop down for about 5 seconds to the mega
she had a
knees.
thick heel like she was 13 years old.
You're not gonna talk about my
No,
heel,
and-
bitch.
But this is the funny thing. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, listen. Some people be like, oh, you fucking for a date or a steak or whatever. And I'm like, if you think about it, I don't remember the last time. Okay, I do remember. It was this year that I did get dressed up and go out with a guy. But see, I was broken up. See, I was broken up. I had to do it with a whole new nigga
See?
because.
Right.
Because when you in a relationship with somebody
You
or
don't do that.
like you get comfortable with people, you don't get to do that all the time because y'all might be going out to eat, but you're not like getting dressed up and feeling sexy and all of that stuff.
Right.
It
So
doesn't happen
I
often.
feel like if you get to do that, you get to do that experience and then you guys have sex afterwards or whatever, that may be cool. You know, you might be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it was a good date, whatever, we had sex, whatever. But you can't turn around and then start wanting stuff after. All I'm saying is identify what you want. If you say to yourself, Listen, I ain't going to the date all year. He about to take me out. I'm getting dressed, whatever the case may be. If we fuck, we fuck. If we don't, we don't. At least I,
You
got
your
to
day
go
out
out
of
to
it.
that. Yeah, whatever. Be cool with that. Now,
If you want a check out of a nigga,
right.
let that shit be
Approach
known
it
up
with a
front.
check.
Exactly.
Period.
Whatever it is. If you want him, to pick you up from the airport. If you want him to freaking, I don't know. Whatever you want. Whatever it is that you want. If you want somebody who gonna go and, let me think. What other things that girls be wanting? Or just come over and watch Netflix with you.
Period. So, and that's where I think I've used compartmentalize.
Maybe the vodka.
But I do that with
Just identify you.
but up front, like, and a lot of us know if we want to fuck a nigga
Mm-hmm.
quick,
Yeah.
either off his
For sure.
Instagram pictures,
Right.
we'll know.
You know.
Or- I sure do. Like,
Right.
well, I'll get this nigga that pussy.
Right.
Or if you're on that first date, and you're like, damn,
Right.
I'm really vibing with him.
Right.
But as women, we also know if it's not going anywhere.
Right.
Okay, I know this nigga gonna want to fuck. I might fuck him, but I don't want to just give him pussy for nothing.
Right.
Now, what else? What else do I demand
Right.
out of him? Do
Just
I
know
want?
that's what you want.
Do I want 2 or 3 more fancy ass dates? Do I want him to pay for my pedicure, my manicure? Like,
Do you want him to be a boyfriend?
Right.
Now I need to start asking.
Like don't start the first night just fucking and treating it just like a fuck
Right.
buddy, and then actually know someone that did this, was just fucking somebody for a year or whatever, a couple years, and then she wanted a relationship.
No, yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
that
And the
never
guy
worked.
was like, he would
that never worked.
they took
Yeah.
trips, they would go to dinners and stuff like that, but he literally
never
told her, he's
works.
like, you're basically kind of just sex for me.
Right.
And she's like,
She was
I'm
heartbroken.
heartbroken
Yeah.
and still trying years
Oh,
later.
Yeah.
Do you know what's
no.
funny? This is what y'all were talking about at the beginning of the episode.
What?
Cooking and being with a girlfriend.
No,
Y'all being with a
actually, the bitch
girlfriend.
didn't cook.
That's
No,
so funny.
that's no.
I'm
I
taking
just
trips
said
with you. I'm fucking you raw. I should be your girlfriend.
no.
And he's saying,
You're
baby girl, you knew what this was.
no, completely different. She starts off just fucking,
Mm.
and they're just fuck buddies, and then wants a relationship.
Okay.
Heard you. Sounds good.
Completely,
talking
it's
about?
No, I
completely
get
different.
what you
yeah,
mean.
so it's like just identify
Cutty
what
line.
you want.
It
It does not lie. How,
do,
what
do
minute
we have
mark do we
shit
start
talk?
this?
Yeah, we need shit talk.
What we'll do? Actually, I'm not gonna do the shit talk. We're gonna do unsolicited, and we're gonna have to go through it super
Boom,
fast.
No problem. We started this at 1:41, so you are now at 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Shut. Y'all talk a lot.
That's all right.
Okay, so unsolicited. 2 of my best friends had loose reputations growing up, but they are now both successful and educated women in committed relationships. I chose this one because you guys both have like sex and talks.
Sex and talks.
You know what the fuck.
Okay,
I mean.
got you.
Recently, we went on a trip together to one of my friend's hometowns. We were there for a networking event. I bumped into someone who wanted to do business with me, but once he found out I was there with my friend, which he knew since middle school, he cut me off and said, never mind, I don't deal with your type. I asked my friend what that was all about, and she told me about some things she had done when she was younger. But I feel what does it matter now since she's doing well for herself and has got her act together.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Has this ever happened to you? I'm wondering, why do people always judge you for your past even though you have changed for the better?
And we
and
talked
why
about this.
you literally said it just like that. And why should it affect me what my friends have done when it clearly has something to do with me? I liked her last question because it might come from something that I spoke about before when I first got to New York. And you warned me.
I did.
She warned me that people might look at you and think you're something different than what you are because of who I am and my reputation. And it did happen. And it came up to me a few times, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're Mandy's friend." And even that video I sent you of the girl, she's like, "Well, look at her. Look at who her friends are. You told me that you would never fuck with somebody like that, and then look who that's who she is." And I'm like, so. In that video, I was like, wow, it really is like people think that you are me and me are you, but I know you as a person.
Right.
So to me, it's like, I don't care what she's ever done or what her content is or how people view her or they think of her. That's not who I know as a person. So I didn't take into consideration what even you told me. You're like, people have perceptions of you and they will judge just because they're fucking judgmental assholes.
Right.
But I don't think it should matter, but we have to be aware. And I had to make myself aware and be told, it will happen regardless because that's the reality of it all.
Well, yeah, just like I say all the time, I fuck my friends. People probably think I fuck both of y'all.
Jesus.
But I haven't.
She has
No.
not.
I have
She
not fucked
hasn't.
Cutty or Carla. But I will say that just goes to it goes to how we're taught. Like there's nothing we can do with how someone views us. So and I'm not gonna lie, as someone who has hung out with porn stars, escorts, and me being very aware of what my friends do. And maybe even though I do not engage in those things, have I not ever? Maybe. Maybe. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's fair to sit here and say that the people that you hang around, you don't do what they do ever.
Right.
Because over the years, those people that I've hung out with the questionable behavior, I've done those things.
I had 3 boyfriends this summer.
You did, right.
Like,
right. So it is unfair to say, oh my God, you're blaming me based on my friend, when technically a person has every right to, because he or she could be wary of the company you keep.
Right.
What is your thoughts?
That people who think about the company you keep or judge you based off of that, I look at them like,
fuck them hoes.
Yeah, but I really look at them like, oh, you're so immature.
I mean, but I think there is some sort of truth to, like you said,
but
birds of a.
What does it matter?
What does it matter? I agree.
No, it doesn't.
That's why it's immature.
But it matters if, in a sexual content here where she's saying it shouldn't matter because what she does with her pussy has nothing to do with what I'm going to do with mine at all. Like, we can both be going out somewhere and she's going to decide that she wants to go fuck another man that's there, say, like, I'm going to leave with so-and-so, right? That doesn't mean that I'm then going to be like, okay, wait. Let me find one so I can leave with them too.
I agree, because you got a whole ass kid and I don't.
I guess if you hang out with a bunch of thieves, people going to think you a thief too, right?
And I wouldn't associate myself and hang out on a regular basis with thieves.
Yeah.
You know?
But I just kind of...
Or crackheads. Are you hanging out with crackheads? No. Do you have a crackhead uncle maybe? Yeah, so they can't say that you, just because, you have this family member or there might be a friend that probably do a little snort, a little coke or whatever. That doesn't mean that you're doing it. But it's a group of them, and that's what they have in common. They can look at you that way, but it's kind of dumb, especially when it's in the past. I don't think this society allows us to grow from our past.
Oh, for sure.
They hold our past against us the entire time. I dealt with it with my anger and with my fighting. It's like, oh, this is who she is, and how people like want to keep bringing that up, and I'm like, I'm a different person now.
It's so funny that you brought this, letter up, because this was a topic I was going to bring up, and before we wrap up, Meek Mill recently tweeted.
I think I said something about this.
He said, if I hang out with 6 robbers every day, most likely I'm a robber or I'm okay with what they represent. So I never understood a good girl hanging with 5 savages talking about she's not like her friend.
And you know what I put in the comments?
What?
Nigga, if you hang out with 6 robbers, you probably about to get robbed.
So I agree.
That's what I said. Fuck that.
Well, I will tell you that.
I do like that.
That was a good one. But I have been more open to certain sexual things the closer you and I got, because I've always talked about the fact that since we've known each other for so many fucking years, we were in different spaces.
We were.
I was already an accountant. You were still like flying out and doing your thing.
Calm down.
I
was an entrepreneur.
I
was a bartender.
A head dog will holler, because I didn't say you were flying yourself. I said you were flying. I didn't say who was flying out.
Okay.
I said you was traveling.
I was a bartender and blogger. Yeah.
Right, but your lifestyle wasn't conducive with mine of being at home with a boyfriend and a small child.
Correct.
So it's the older we got, you went into accounting. You're like, hey, I'm going back into accounting. I'm now an accountant. We go into this creative space. It makes us closer. But as I was hanging with you, my vanilla got some bean in it. So it's true that when you're hanging with someone for a certain amount of time, I don't have a problem with your content. I don't think it's a negative thing. I might not want or have the desire for all of it, but because I have been around you for so long, I had my ex tell me, so now you want to be like her? I'm like, no, I just might want to have sex in a different way now.
Right.
Or I might want to experience something new.
Which is crazy though, but because even with Cutty, I've known her now, oh God, at least since I moved into we've been fairly close, at least for the last 6 years. And Cutty, but is not who she portrays to everyone else. So when people knew I was close to her, they're like, whoa, she says all this. And I'm like, but y'all don't know
she's
her.
a grandma.
She's so,
I'm such a grandma.
That's like the savage that I'm with right now, which we can actually talk about it with him when he comes on, because it's if you saw who the person is and then who the person is to the world, and it's 2 different people.
I mean, they know who the nigga is. I ain't gonna lie. They know out in the open, I hate that nigga. I don't want that nigga on my platform. But little do a lot of people know, He was at my house every goddamn day this summer.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Jesus.
My bad. But I do like him as a person. But
you saw a different side.
Right. But that's where, when you talk about the perception of what people have in the public and who people are as people, can you really attach the title of what society gives to them to who that person genuinely is? But not only that, you're going to treat me differently than you're going to treat an associate or another friend.
Yeah.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah.
We're going
word of the day.
The word of the day.
You
Compartmentalize.
know what I mean? So I don't like that I'm judged or you're judged based off of what someone may have as a perception of me when I am not that person to you or to you. And you're not the Passport Cutty on Twitter that you are to your close friends.
But let me tell you one thing that I always say. I'm like, listen, you cannot be mad at how people perceive you based on the things that you put out there.
Right.
So if people judge you or people think a certain way about you, you did that. You know what I mean? So you just got to eat it. So there's plenty of times that, I want to defend Passport Cutty or I want to defend myself and be like, no, I'm not really like that. I'm like, bitch, stop. You're fighting a losing battle because you said what you said. You did what you did. You did it how you did it. And that's how they interpreted it. And if they didn't give you the chance past that to show you anything else, they not for you. Fuck it. Oh, wow. So, like, in response to the email, that wasn't the type of relationship.
It was for networking. It wasn't for you.
It wasn't for you because at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't want to do something business-wise with you because of that, then
that's
it's like, whatever.
Because they might not see her growth. They're not going to see your growth either.
Agreed.
So let it fucking go. And yes, what your friends have done in the past and who they are have nothing to do with you. And it's up to you to choose whether you're proud of that person.
We just did a whole episode on feedback, and I said, you think I give a goddamn fuck?
Yo, she called me. She said, I don't give a fuck. I ain't changing shit.
Like, I am who I am. But not only that, people are going to receive things how they choose to. And if you live your life trying to please everyone or be in the fear of rejection because of what someone thinks about you, you're going to be miserable for a very long time.
My closet is vomiting stuff, right?
You wrote something on there. If you don't like it, don't come on my page.
First off, we see the Chanel shit, bitch.
Long time ago, somebody, like, in one of the first closet sales, because I just have my dumb ass, I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop spending $1,000 on stuff. I am not shopping anymore. I am not spending all this money on designer stuff, right? So my dumbass goes and transitions from spending $1,000 on one thing to now spending $1,000 on 20 cheap things.
Oh.
So now I have 20 more items in my house that have no space, no room for it. So now I'm like, every time I wear something, I'm putting that on the damn story for them to buy it, right? So now somebody.
Poshmark?
No, I hate Poshmark. They be like, you want to trade? No, I want my money. And I don't want it to have 20% taken out of it.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Right? So now somebody goes in the comments, the only, so which one is it? Are you, is it stolen or are you going broke or some shit like that? And they was like, because why else would somebody be selling their brand new pieces, something? I'm like, because I've been in retail since I was 17 years old and been buying
They don't need to know about
getting
that.
shit for $2 damn near. And, and I just have so much stuff. But the perception was I'm a thief or I'm going broke. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how about I just have a lot of shit?
Right. How about I just like to buy clothes?
But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If this is what they think, whatever.
As long as you buy it, though.
Right.
Do you got a problem with it being stolen?
Did you want something or not? And why you care if you getting stolen goods? It's for a good price.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking for a scammer for the longest.
Yo, me too.
Scammers are the worst. Don't even look for them no more.
Know.
They give you like 30% off. You're like, you're not a fucking employee.
I was about to say, nigga, I can get an employee discount for that.
Discount. I need a Zoom so bad, and I don't want to pay full price. And I'm like, where are the scammers in Orlando? They're all gone.
The scammers are not the same. Like, nigga, if I can't get 50 plus
off,
I can.
I need at least 50.
I'm just gonna go make friends with the person at the cashier.
Exactly.
At the cashier.
I'm like, we look like cousins, Julio. Come on, let me get it.
Exactly.
You see how problematic
Stop.
you are.
You made me build that
That's
shit
why
for
I
you.
make you
Like
build my shit.
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because bitch, like this man has called now 3 times. I know he's about to cuss me out.
I know he is.
He's probably like, "What the hell are you doing in the studio that late?" It is probably not. Was it 1 a.m?
Yeah,
12
mine
something?
is downstairs waiting for me.
Oh shit! Oh, he love you, bitch.
Oh,
No, we just gotta go far.
Well, tell everybody like where to get you, your book, all your stuff that you got going on.
Yes, drop your cues.
On Twitter and Instagram, passport_Cutty, Cutty. My book is on Amazon.com. It's called The M and Man is for Money. The pink one. Some people, I can't take it off the Audible yet.
The black
one.
Yeah.
My book is on Audible. It's my favorite format. I narrate it. People love it because they feel like, oh, I feel like my cousin is talking to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I wasted.
Oh, and I told you about that. I have the partnership with Audible.
Oh, yeah.
So they can actually get your book for free, and it's just
Yes.
like they bought them on your end.
Yes.
So I will give you guys you guys can go on audibletrial.com/shit I'm30, and you can actually get her Audible free, and it's still it goes for her.
Thank you. And then it's on ebook everywhere. So Barnes and Noble, iTunes, Google Play, what's the other one? All of them.
Kindle, all of that.
Yeah. Kindle is like the Amazon one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them.
That's so you're like an author, bitch.
No, she's a real
I've got
author.
she's
not like author. She is.
I have like a real author.
And leave a review.
Yes, there's
on
that's
Amazon.
so important.
It means a lot. It means a lot. Even if you're listening to Shit I'm 30 or any of the podcasts that you listen to, or book support, drop a review. And rate it.
Yes,
so you got horrible decisions to go and rate and review. You have Passport Cutty to rate. You're gonna start a podcast soon. We gotta get you on.
I know. I'm gonna do.
I've been talking to her about that.
Yeah,
we gotta get you started a podcast.
I'm gonna do something.
So make sure you guys rate, review everybody's shit on here, including Shit I'm 30, and I will see you guys next week.
Whoop whoop.
Bye.
That was cool.